I have friends who are vegans. They don't eat any cooked vegetables. They don't eat any meat. But I just never thought it was something I would be interested in. I do like vegetables, but I didn't think I can eat all my vegetables raw. So it really was a challenge in the beginning because, when you think of raw, it's like, wow, we're so conditioned to eat our food cooked. So I knew there were benefits to eating raw. I just didn't think it was something that I would be interested in or something that I could do. But once I got into it, I saw how easy it was, to get into that lifestyle, to just eat your food as nature made it, straight out of the dirt or off the tree or the vine. It was just so simple, and there's so many dishes, creative dishes that you can make with your food raw.
Now I'm just maintaining. I'm continuing the lifestyle. Probably be raw vegan for at least 6 months. But I plan on being a vegetarian forever.
Well, when I first heard about raw, it actually didn't seem that unusual to me. To me, it was more like, oh my God, this is a godsend. Because, again, I had started to keep track of the standard American diet that I could not eat. So slowly but surely, items that were changing their ingredients would be lost for me forever. So the idea of going raw is probably a little bit scarier to most people than it is to me. But I didn't think it would be anything difficult. I thought it would be fun. The only thing that I thought would have been hard was going sheer fruit, because apparently I love salty things, and now that I eat more veggies, especially kale, that's really good for me. That really kills my salt cravings. That's me. I'm more of a veggie girl than a fruit girl. So I don't know. It's just I loved it.
Yeah, I noticed a difference in my smell. That opened up, and it would, because of all that mucus that I was discharging. Of course, that certainly would have been affected.
With regards to my senses, it's mostly, I think it was more of a brain fog. That's what I like to call it. I was constantly having headaches and just having difficulty thinking a lot of times. And I don't know if it was just a result of me constantly feeling sick, because all it would take is for me to eat one wrong thing and I would feel drained for 3 to 4 days. It was just exhausting. So once I started changing what I was eating and went to the raw, got rid of that, it was kind of like having an IV of coffee all the time. I actually have difficulty sitting still now. I don't know if I'm doing it right now, but I do have a tendency to fidget when I sit still. Before, I could plop down in a chair, on the couch, not move for hours, because I was just constantly exhausted. And I don't have that problem anymore.
My energy level soared. I had so much energy, it was unbelievable. I tell people it felt as if I was high. I don't know if you get, a raw food high, but that's what it was. I was juicing, and drinking fresh juice in the mornings was better than drinking coffee. It was just unbelievable.
I had pains in my joints, gone. Wasn't expecting that. After doing further research and talking to Arnold about it, it was definitely from the animal proteins that I've eaten. There had been a buildup of uric acid collecting in my joints. They're gone. All the pain in my joints gone. Doctors were talking about arthritis treatments, giving me steroid shots and different hormones and steroids into my joints, and I didn't want to take that course of action. The diet took the pain away and healed it.
So my benefit, my side effect was really the weight loss, because what was happening is that I was basically sabotaging myself by not checking an ingredients list and having, like I said, 3 to 4 days of pain afterwards. And I kind of imagine what it would be like if you ate glass once a week. So once I changed my diet, got into the raw, since my body was spending so little time fighting whatever internal war was going on inside me from eating the standard American diet, my body was able to focus on getting rid of all the extra fluff that had been building up over the last decade. And whoosh. So my side effect was actually the weight loss. I didn't intend for it, but it's not a bad way to go, you know. And I got my cheekbones back. But yeah, for me, it's just the weight loss and the ability to just be able to think and not have headaches all the time anymore was more than I really ever expected, and I'm just very grateful.
For the most part, like I said, I've every day I start with a green smoothie or a smoothie. That's been pivotal and core to the entire health, change that I've been doing. Haven't had any meat, dairy, fish, or eggs, or any of that processed stuff. I mean, everything has been raw except for maybe three meals that I've had that were cooked steamed vegetables and rice. That's it. I've been pretty much with it almost 100%, and it's not that hard. I've been using my blender and coming up with recipes and sticking to it. It's really not that hard once you get your taste down.
I'm sleeping nights. I've had a terrible insomnia for about 20 years, and I'm sleeping very well now.
Just by seeing me carry like my container of smoothies or my meals, people are like, "Oh, what's going on here?" For our Christmas party, we have a big party at my grandparents', and I was like, "All right." I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, "All right, I'll see what happens." I brought my own food. I brought some kale. I brought some stuff, and everybody was asking questions and wanting to try things. So that was cool.
Everything is a lot healthier. My nails, which I always had a problem with them being weak and breaking, are stronger. I actually have fingernails now. My wife tells me I have to get a manicure. My hair is growing a lot longer and faster than it normally does. I have nothing but high praise for the diet. Energy level, sleeping better. I had trouble sleeping. Wasn't very restful sleep. Tossing and turning. I sleep more peacefully. I had a really bad cough, like the early onsets of acid reflux. The diet eliminated that. I was going to be put on medication, started taking over-the-counter medication daily called Prilosec. Gone. Don't take it anymore. Don't touch over-the-counter medicine. That prescription drug was next. That I have no need for any of that. My cough is gone. My sleep patterns are good. There's no acid reflux. Nothing.
Well, for me, I think my benefit really was a side effect, was the weight loss. It wasn't really my intention when I started out coming here to lose weight. My intention was, what can I do to not have this pain?
There was a big difference in my attitude, my behavior, my mental attitude. I was very irritable in the beginning when I first started. Not very pleasant, very short-tempered, and a lot of it had to do with pain. But once I started and got really into it, started feeling better, my attitude changed. People started noticing it. They was telling me there was something different about me. I was telling people what I was doing, and I was feeling better. So when you feel better, your whole attitude just changes. I was waking up, sleeping better. I was waking up well rested, and was able to get more things done.
Friends of mine, even people like customers where I work, they'll ask questions and be like, try to pick my mind of why I'm doing it and what, some people have apprehension because they see something that looks green, a green liquid, and I'm like, well, just, they start asking questions and I tell them the benefit that I've seen from it, and then they go, oh, if that's working for you, good, and it plants that seed in their mind if they ever need, any type of health, help or advice, maybe that's a route that they can take. So, but I've definitely seen a lot of people interested in asking questions about it. So, that's definitely been good.
Being a chef, I rely on my palate to taste and to dial in seasoning. Since I've been on this diet, my palate is so much sharper. I mean, my hearing, my sense of smell, working in a kitchen, I mean, I can smell things a lot clearer and better. I can sense and smell when something's about to burn rather than when it already has. My taste, very recognizable. I mean, I taste something, clearly I can distinguish all the ingredients that are in it, whether it's too salty, whether it's not, what are the components in it. I mean, this green smoothie, for instance, I mean, I could tell you every ingredient's in it and how each one layers itself. So, those have all been positive, attributes or results from continuing this lifestyle.
Let's see. Well, by the time I started the raw diet, I had gotten a much more support than when I had initially started coming here. Because, like I said, I had already lost 100 pounds. So they were able to see that I was able to get the results. And that first 100 pounds was really from me just coming in here and having green smoothies. Changing my breakfast from a bagel, whatever it was that I would have had before, to a green smoothie. So when I said I'm going raw, they were like, oh my God, that's going to be so hard. And it really wasn't. The hardest part for me is that my fiance does actually have quite a few allergies to certain fruit seeds and things like that. So the hardest part about it for our family was for me to make sure we were basically making 2 dinners. That was the most difficult part. But other than that, everybody's been very supportive. I mean, I put a before and after picture on my Facebook, and I've had people emailing me like, oh my God, what did you do? What diet is this? And I'm like, it's not a diet. It's so simple. And it doesn't cost you anything more than to just pick up the right foods. It's so easy, and I don't know why I didn't think of it before.
I did notice a difference immediately in my skin. My skin was very dry, on my face and in my hands, and I noticed my skin was becoming more supple, just from eating raw food.
I would say it's a lot of people are creatures of habit and get used to routines, and basically when they see that type of food or that type of stuff, you're going against the mold, I guess, for most people. And I got a lot of people that were, trying to sit there and what are you eating? Why would you eat raw foods? Where's your protein? All the normal questions that people get. And it's just educate yourself a little bit, research a little bit, and you'll find out that things that you've been told are not what they really are. But yeah, definitely there was that. But like I said, I have no problem with that. I'll deal with that and continue doing what I'm doing. So anybody wants any, different views or opinions on things, I told them, and if they took it the way they took it, then so be it. But most of the people overall, after talking to them, were very, very open to it and understanding, which was cool.
My elimination increased, so I wasn't as constipated. So that can affect your behavior and your attitude too. So.
Well, you know what's happening to me? I'm feeling that I understand what's in the foods that I was very attracted to before, especially in the oils and the fried foods. And so I'm not so interested in going out to eat as much as I was before this. Because I think restaurants aren't very concerned about GMO products. But I am. And I want to stay away from GMO products. So that means I have to stay away from restaurants. I'm not talking about fast food restaurants. I'm talking about like Chinese buffet restaurants, Indian restaurants, things like that. I don't know what's in the food.
It was just overall beneficial, for my body to do raw. So from the time I started to the time I ended, I lost about 8 pounds, I think 10 when I weighed myself yesterday. I was 150 instead of 160. So I'm still losing weight. I'm still doing raw. Well, I can't say enough about the energy. The energy is just amazing. I've done so much more in the past, 40 days now, 40, 60 days now, since I did the raw. I have more energy to spend time with my grandchildren. I'm able to, get more work done at my job. I don't even take breaks. They ask me, you have to take your break. I don't even take my 30-minute breaks. I just work through. At home, I'm able to accomplish more in my house, with my family. I'm working on so many different projects right now.
Because I've changed. I feel I'm more settled. And it's like I'm convinced that this is the way I want to eat.
First of all, being a chef and discussing that you don't eat animal proteins anymore, people look at you skeptically. My colleagues noticed recognizable changes in my appearance, in my energy level, and asked what I was doing, and when I told them, they were just shocked.
My mental clarity is amazing. I'm able to retain more information. I don't get really fog-headed, I don't know what to call it, but I used to have really, really bad memory lapse. I thought I was getting Alzheimer's or something. I'm too young for that, but now I can remember things. I can retain more information. I do a lot of reading. I can retain more information. And I'm helping other people, on projects right now. And I have friends who are trying to do raw, and I'm helping them. I'm blogging. So I'm doing a lot more now that I didn't think I had the time or the energy for since I started doing this.
It boggles my mind. People are more worried about the color of green liquid, but they don't care about like a slaughterhouse, what goes on behind the scenes, or that type of stuff. It boggles my mind. I guess it's also a different thing. People are used to having like Kellogg's cereal or like something that milk or like a cereal that they eat and drink or whatever they're doing. And for me, having like a bowl of fruit or 10 bananas or a smoothie, it just seems normal now because of the way I feel. I think it's more of too. It's being in somebody's shoes. I see things differently now because I've experienced it. And for most of these people, they haven't seen it a different way, so that's all they know. And I hope that if they have a problem or an issue, that they will think about that instead of going the normal route that they've gone. And it does boggle my mind because every day I hear about the green smoothies. I always hear about it, and I don't know, but it's working for me. So
I don't think I had any ill effects that I could think of. But like I said, you spend a decade just kind of feeling like crud. And anything in the opposite direction feels like a blessing. My hair, if all my hair fell out, I wouldn't have cared because I can go and visit my friends now. I don't have to have a panic attack when they say, hey, let's go out to eat. And one of the biggest benefits for me was that before I went through this process, people were constantly telling me, oh, it's in your head. It's in your head. To the point where when my specialist gave me the cancer results and it said negative, I was disappointed because I said at least whatever is wrong with me will have a name and people will stop looking at me funny. And now that they haven't seen me in a year, they see me now. They listen. They are open to understanding because they see the benefit that it has given me and the side effect of the weight loss.
It's changed my life in a way that I'm very more aware and conscious of what I eat. I've become very conscious. I'm educating myself. I'm going online. I'm looking up about the meat industry and how animals are treated and how the way that they're treated is imprinted in the food, in the meat, and then I'm telling my friends that, when you eat the meat, you're eating the terror and the fear and the pain from that animal. I'm learning more about sustainable, about the GMOs. I'm educating myself about food in general, and how to stay healthy. And I'm sharing that information with a lot of my friends.
A lot of people look at you as you're weird, or it's like some kind of cultish diet. It's none of that. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of research or intelligence to understand that most of the diseases that we suffer from in the United States and in the Western culture are directly attributed to our nutrition and our diet. Being a chef, I've always understood that, but never really supported it and believed it 100% until I went through the transformation and actually experienced it firsthand. Hence the reason why I want to take this knowledge that I have and turn it into some kind of business and continue the revolution and spread the word.
A lot of times I would bring in my son. He was home on the weekends. I would come in. He would come with me. He loves everything here. And now he is at the point where he'll just come wandering over here, and he knows he has my full blessing to get whatever he wants from this place whenever he wants it. And he loves it. He loves the smoothies. He loves the Mediterranean salad, just like I do. That's my favorite. But he likes a lot of the snacks that they have here, like the kale chips. I mean, he's 12 years old. So the fact that he's open and he's just very receptive to all the stuff here. And he notices a difference too. When he eats better, he doesn't get the uncomfortable stomach pains that he had been starting to get, just like I did. So I don't know if it's a genetic thing or if it's just he was eating the wrong things, but he's getting it now. And I couldn't be happier, because the last thing I want to do is to see him go through what I had to go through. I don't want to see anybody have to go through that.
Spiritually, I'm a born-again Christian. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I've also decided to do somewhat of a biblical study on diet. And it's pretty evident what God, our Creator, intended us to eat. It's spelled out in Genesis. Plants, fruits, and vegetables. That's what our diet is supposed to be comprised of. I'm going to continue this study and of the vegan lifestyle as it is explained in the Bible, and my goal is to create somewhat of a ministry or a mission and affect people's life with the diet, and also help introduce Jesus, my Savior, to them by explaining how these programs and how this was designed by God to eat plants, fruits, and vegetables.
I had a lot of gray, in the front of my hair and mixed in, and I noticed that a couple of friends told me the other day that my hair looks really shiny, and that some of my gray is kind of diminished. So I think that might have something to do with eating raw too.
As far as my immediate family, my daughter and my wife is a vegetarian. She eats cooked food, but no animal proteins. My daughter, Michaela, eats other diet. I don't force her to do it. Come here, Michaela. Come here. Say hi. Tell them what you think about Daddy's food.
I really like it, and
Daddy doesn't force you to eat the vegan stuff, does he? I make it, I put it on the table, and then you get to try it if you like it, and if not, you don't. But you do like the bread Daddy makes? What's your favorite thing? What favorite dish? The raw vegan dish? You like the pizza? Say. So, I mean, my daughter's 7.5 years old, will be 8 in June. And she's been partaking in this diet to a certain degree. I don't force it on her. I don't force it on my wife. But she loves the food. And we all know how skeptical children are with their diets. And if I can have a 7.5-year-old young lady, whom I love dearly, enjoy the food than anybody can. So that's been one of the biggest benefits.
Going meatless wasn't a big deal, but just not being able to cook my food was something they didn't think, well, how long is that going to last? Are you sure you can do it? A couple of my daughters called me and said, Mom, are you sure you can do that? Are you sure you know what you're doing? I said, yes, I'm going to do it. And I did it. And it's amazing because now one of my daughters, she wants to go meatless, and she's practically vegan now, because of me. Some of my friends were very supportive. They thought it was a good idea, and now they're trying to do it too. So I get calls from friends telling me what day they are on their journey, and they're asking me for tips and suggestions, and they're calling me and saying how I would be proud of them because of some of the things that they're doing. So I think I pretty much made an impact on my friends and family by doing this, because now they're trying to do it too. So
A year from now, continuing on my path, opening up my palate and to different things that I haven't tried yet. There's a lot of different foods and fruits that I'm waiting to come in season that I can try. I'm looking forward to meeting more people that are open-minded in the rural community, or just people that want to eat healthy and clean.
I'm not one for pressing my lifestyle onto anybody. I'll give you a classic example. Christmas Eve. I'm an Italian. We do 7 fishes. I host the event, carry on my grandmother's tradition and our family traditions. I hosted the event. We had 24 people in our house. I prepared all the normal dishes that we normally have, all the fish-related dishes. But this year, given the choice that I made and the lifestyle that I'm leading, I prepared 5 raw vegan dishes. Presented them all on the table so that I would have something to eat, but mainly to try and introduce some of these flavors and dishes to my other families. Everyone partook in all the dishes and loved every one of them.
One of the negatives, it's not even really a negative that I can see people have, is that some people can want like a warmer food. That's the one thing they miss in the cold, at least that I've noticed. The older now that I get, the cold really bothers me for some reason, more than usual. But I miss like a warm meal every once in a while, like a soup or something. So I'll make a tomato soup, I heat it up a little bit, and then I get that warmth. But I'm actually looking forward now to the future more than I ever was, because for once I feel like I have the proper tools and I'm in control of what I'm eating. Also, that will lead to me being in control of other things down the line. Hopefully my health will continue to go the way it's going. I'm looking forward to the people that I'm going to meet. I'm just looking forward to learning more about myself and more about what I like, and how far I can take this within myself. So I'm definitely looking forward to the future, that's for sure.
I started this because I want to be around, to be part of my daughter's life, and to experience all the joys and be there when she has her own children and be a grandfather. Hence the reason why I started to do this, to take care of my health, so that I will be healthy and be around to be part of her life for a very long time.
It's kind of cruel the way that things work now. The foods that are in here are so nutritious, and it's so much cheaper to go buy crap from a drive-through, and it shouldn't be that way, and it's hurting a lot of people. And if they will take the time to listen and understand, this diet truly can help them save their own lives, because nobody else is going to do it. It's up to you. You can either decide to keep going on the same path that you're going and be miserable because nothing's changing, or you can change it. It's not that hard.
I'm happy. Arnold's a great person for doing this. I wish more people would, maybe see this, this whole situation and springboard off it, or at least, pass it forward, or help other people that could need it. And, hopefully that's what, the end result of this is it helps people spread the word, and just opens up some more minds and eyes that are willing to listen.
Yeah, I'm very happy that I have the support of Arnold's Way, Arnold and all the people here. And I love the videos on YouTube. They're wonderful for me to look at. That gives me the encouragement I need for the day.